Hi guys, today I'm making a juicy tenderloin of pork. This easy recipe is perfect for a special occasion or everyday dinner. Here's the pork loin. It has very little fat. To season the meat, we'll need salt, ground black pepper, and garlic powder. Also, herbs that go perfectly with pork: sage, rosemary, and thyme. I just snipped these from my garden. They are cold tolerant and will survive most of the winter. If you can't find fresh herbs, definitely substitute dry. We'll also need some chicken stock. Take a bowl and fill it 3/4 of the way with water. Add salt and mix it up. Place the pork in the brine. The water should completely cover the pork. Leave this in the fridge for 4 hours. After 4 hours, heat your oven to 400 degrees Fahrenheit or 205 degrees Celsius. Remove the pork from the brine and pat dry. You want the meat to be as dry as possible. Take a small knife and poke small shallow holes all over the meat. Since the pork was sitting in salt water, you don't need to use too much salt to season. I'll sprinkle just a little bit on all sides. Then ground black pepper and garlic powder. Rub the seasonings all over the pork. Heat up an oven-safe pan. I'm using this cast iron pan, which is perfect for searing and cooking meats in the oven. If you don't have an oven-safe pan, transfer the pork to a shallow baking dish after searing. Coat the bottom of the pan with a little bit of oil. Get the pan very hot. Put the meat in. Cook 2 minutes each on the top, bottom, and sides. Pork loin is a long piece of meat, and you might have to cut the pork to fit whichever dish you're using. You can see there's a nice crust on all sides. When you finish searing the meat, put the herbs in all around the pork. I'm adding a little oil since there is none in the pan. You need a little bit of oil so the herbs can sizzle and give off their flavor. Now add half of the chicken stock. Transfer this carefully to the heated oven. Cook 15 minutes and turn over the meat. Add more stock if there is none in the pan. Cook another 15 minutes or until the meat registers at least 145 degrees Fahrenheit on a thermometer. Some people will cook it to 150, 155. That's really up to you. Remember, the pan is hot and it will continue to cook a little more even after you take it out of the oven. I took it out when the meat was around 153 and it was perfect. It'll have a tinge of light pink in the middle. Even if you overcook it, the meat will be juicy because of the brining step. Transfer to a plate and let rest at least 5 to 10 minutes before carving. If you carve it right away, all the juices will flow out of the meat. Don't leave the meat in the pan to rest because it will continue to cook, especially with a hot cast iron pan like this. Spoon the pan juices all over the loin. You don't need to make gravy. This is perfect. It's one of the juiciest pieces of meat you'll ever make. Since there is no bone and no fat, brining is a necessary step to achieve this level of juiciness. Just brine right after lunch and make it in time for dinner. It only needs to cook on the stove for 8 minutes and there is no work after that. Just sits in the oven to finish. The loin makes for a very elegant dish. Mashed potatoes and my easy garlic green beans are perfect sides. I hope you give this a try as it is foolproof. Whether you're a beginner or expert cook, you just cannot mess this up. To get notifications when I upload a new video, click on the bell icon. Subscribe and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching, and Happy New Year!